Athaya Gino Thitikul, currently ranked #1 in women's professional golf, recently made public comments about the personal costs of international athletic success that resonated throughout the golf community and reportedly drew attention from Tiger Woods. Hey everyone, before we dive into this incredible story, go ahead and subscribe so you never miss videos like this. Understanding the significance of her remarks requires examining the specific content of what she said, the cultural and professional context that makes her perspective particularly meaningful, Tiger Woods' connection to similar experiences, and the broader implications for how we understand elite athletic achievement. Thitikul's comments came during an interview where she discussed the reality of living in the United States as a Thai athlete competing on the LPGA Tour. Despite achieving remarkable professional success, holding the world #1 ranking, earning over $13 million in career prize money, and winning major tournaments, she described feeling that America always feels like a workplace rather than home. This simple statement carries substantial emotional weight because it acknowledges a truth that many international athletes experience but rarely articulate publicly. Professional success doesn't eliminate homesickness or the fundamental human need for a cultural and familial connection. The statement is particularly striking because Thitikul has every material reason to feel satisfied with her circumstances in America. She's achieved the highest ranking in her sport. She's financially successful. She has access to world-class training facilities, competition, and opportunities. By conventional measures of athletic achievement, she has everything. Yet her comments reveal that material and professional success don't fully address emotional and psychological needs for home, family, and cultural familiarity. Tiger Woods' reported reaction to Thitikul's comments adds another dimension to the story. Woods, whose mother Kultida is Thai, grew up with substantial exposure to Thai culture and has frequently discussed how his mother's influence shaped his character and competitive drive. His reported response, expressing admiration for Thitikul's honesty and recognizing it as demonstrating a different kind of strength, suggests he sees parallels between her experience and aspects of his own career navigating between different cultural identities while competing at the highest levels. Woods' connection to Thailand through his mother means he likely understands the specific cultural values Thitikul references. Thai culture, like many Asian cultures, places substantial emphasis on family bonds, respect for elders, and the importance of maintaining connections to one's origins. For someone raised with these values, the extended separations required by international professional competition create tensions that athletes from different cultural backgrounds might experience differently or less intensely. Thitikul's career trajectory makes her comments even more significant. She began competing internationally at age 14, winning professional tournaments as an amateur, while most peers were focused on school and typical adolescent experiences. She turned professional at 19, foregoing university and the normal young adult experiences that would have provided opportunities for social development, identity formation, and gradual transition to independence. Instead, she moved directly from adolescence to international professional competition, living primarily in hotels, traveling constantly, and existing in the bubble of professional sports. This compressed development means Thitikul missed substantial life experiences that help many people establish independent identities and emotional self-sufficiency apart from family. When she discusses feeling that America is a workplace rather than home, she's describing the reality that her adult identity formed entirely within the context of professional competition without the intermediate steps of college, early career exploration, or gradual geographic independence that might have created alternative sources of belonging and community. Her family remains her primary emotional anchor. She has discussed publicly that her motivation for competing comes substantially from desire to support her parents financially and to honor their sacrifices in supporting her golf development. Her father owned a car wash, and her mother worked as a hairdresser. They weren't wealthy, but they invested what they could in their daughter's talent. Now that she's financially successful, she uses substantial portions of her earnings to ensure her family's security. This creates a relationship where her professional success directly benefits the people she misses most, but also means the separation is necessary to continue generating the income that supports them. The specific details Thitikul has shared about her life illustrate the trade-offs she's making. She mentioned buying a Mercedes in Thailand because that's where she emotionally considers home, despite spending most of her time in America. She discussed looking forward to the Asian swing of the LPGA Tour because it brings her geographically closer to Thailand and provides access to familiar food, cultural context, and regional energy that feels more comfortable than American tournaments. She joked about finding Disney World tickets expensive after winning $4 million, revealing that despite extraordinary wealth by any standard measure, she maintains perspectives and concerns that feel remarkably normal and relatable. These details humanize someone who could easily seem distant or incomprehensible to typical audiences. A 22-year-old with $13 million in career earnings occupies a reality so different from most people's experiences that connection or empathy might be difficult. But when she discusses missing Thai food with her family, wanting the relaxed social experience of university rather than intense professional competition, and finding theme park admission prices surprisingly high, she becomes recognizable as a young person navigating the same basic human experiences everyone faces, just in extraordinary circumstances. Tiger Woods' reported admiration for her honesty reflects his own experiences with the tensions between public expectations and private realities. Woods has lived most of his life under intense scrutiny, with every aspect of his life and career analyzed and judged publicly. The pressure to maintain certain images of invincibility, confidence, dominance has been constant throughout his career. When Thitikul chooses to openly acknowledge vulnerability, homesickness, and the emotional cost of success, she demonstrates what Woods reportedly recognized as genuine strength: the courage to be honest about human experiences that don't fit conventional narratives of athletic triumph. From a broader perspective, Thitikul's comments challenge cultural narratives about success that emphasize achievement, wealth, and status as sufficient sources of fulfillment. American culture in particular tends to treat professional and financial success as paramount goals, with the assumption that achieving these goals will naturally produce happiness and satisfaction. Thitikul's experience suggests these assumptions are oversimplified. She has achieved everything that conventional success metrics define as important, yet she experiences loneliness, cultural dislocation, and longing for home and family. This doesn't mean her success is hollow or that she regrets her choices. Her comments don't suggest she wishes she had made different decisions or that she's dissatisfied with her career. Rather, she's acknowledging that success and sacrifice coexist, that achieving extraordinary goals requires giving up things that matter, and that those trade-offs don't disappear just because the achievements are remarkable. This nuanced understanding of success as something genuinely valuable but not without costs represents mature perspective that many people don't develop until much later in life. The response to her comments suggests audiences appreciate this honesty. In an era when social media often presents curated versions of lives that emphasize highlights while concealing struggles, Thitikul's willingness to acknowledge the emotional challenges accompanying her success feels refreshing. Fans can celebrate her achievements while also recognizing her humanity and the sacrifices those achievements required. This creates connection and empathy that pure triumphalism might not generate. Tiger Woods' role in this narrative matters because his validation carries weight. Woods remains one of golf's most significant figures despite his playing career being largely behind him. His opinions about golf, about athletes, and about the experiences of competing at the highest levels command attention and respect. When he reportedly expresses admiration for Thitikul's honesty, it signals to others in golf and sports more broadly that emotional vulnerability and acknowledgement of personal costs shouldn't be seen as weakness, but rather as legitimate aspects of athletic experience worth discussing and supporting. This could potentially encourage other athletes to be more open about similar experiences. Professional sports culture has traditionally emphasized mental toughness, emotional control, and projecting confidence regardless of internal states. Athletes who acknowledge struggles, whether with loneliness, pressure, mental health, or other challenges, have historically risked being seen as mentally weak or not fully committed. If figures like Woods validate vulnerability and emotional honesty as compatible with elite competition, it might create cultural space for more athletes to acknowledge their full human experiences rather than only the aspects that fit conventional athletic narratives. For Thitikul specifically, nothing about her comments suggests professional retreat or reduced commitment. She's not retiring, scaling back her schedule, or indicating that the emotional costs have become unsustainable. She continues competing at the highest level, continues winning major tournaments, and continues accumulating achievements. Her openness about homesickness exists alongside continued professional excellence, demonstrating that acknowledging emotional challenges doesn't prevent someone from continuing to perform at elite levels. This might be the most important aspect of her story for younger athletes or anyone pursuing demanding goals that require sacrifice. Thitikul models that it's possible to fully commit to ambitious goals while also acknowledging the costs. To achieve at the highest levels while remaining connected to your emotional reality, and to be simultaneously successful and homesick, accomplished and lonely, financially wealthy and emotionally complex. These aren't contradictions, they're the actual texture of many people's experiences pursuing demanding goals. Her specific cultural context as a Thai woman competing in a sport dominated historically by Americans and Europeans adds additional layers. She's not just far from home geographically, she's operating within cultural contexts that may not fully understand or accommodate Thai values, communication styles, or ways of relating. The Asian swing of the LPGA Tour feeling more comfortable likely reflects not just geographic proximity to Thailand, but also the presence of more people from similar cultural backgrounds, food options that feel familiar, and general cultural contexts that don't require constant navigation and translation. Tiger Woods' mother's Thai heritage means he likely understands these specific cultural dimensions in ways that athletes from other backgrounds might not. His reported recognition of what Thitikul's honesty represents suggests he sees not just general homesickness, but specifically the challenges of maintaining Thai identity and values while succeeding in American professional sports. This cultural understanding adds depth to his reported response and may make his validation particularly meaningful to Thitikul and to Thai audiences following her career. The financial dimension of Thitikul's situation deserves consideration. She's earned enough money to provide substantial security for her family and herself. This means that unlike many athletes whose careers require sacrificing present well-being for future financial security, Thitikul has already achieved the financial goals that justify her sacrifices. Yet, she continues, suggesting her motivation extends beyond money to include competitive drive, desire to maximize her talent, commitment to Thailand's reputation in international golf, and personal satisfaction from competing at the highest levels. This makes her acknowledgement of homesickness more poignant rather than less. She could theoretically reduce her schedule, spend more time in Thailand, and accept somewhat reduced earnings and competitive standing. That she chooses to continue the demanding schedule despite having achieved financial security indicates that the pull of competition and excellence remains stronger than the discomfort of separation. But it doesn't eliminate that discomfort or make it insignificant. The lesson her experience offers extends beyond professional sports to anyone pursuing demanding goals that require sacrifice. Whether it's education, career advancement, artistic pursuits, or other ambitious projects, meaningful achievement often requires giving up things that matter. Time with family, familiar environments, comfortable routines, or other sources of well-being. Thitikul's willingness to acknowledge these costs while continuing to pursue her goals demonstrates that it's possible to be clear-eyed about sacrifices without either letting them prevent achievement or pretending they don't exist. Tiger Woods reportedly recognizing this as a form of strength suggests that acknowledging reality, including its difficult or uncomfortable aspects, represents maturity and emotional intelligence rather than weakness. The athletes who pretend everything is easy or that success comes without costs may project confidence, but they also model an impossible standard that can make others feel inadequate when they experience the actual difficulties that achievement entails. Thitikul's honesty provides a more realistic and ultimately more helpful model for understanding what pursuing excellence actually involves.